Welcome to the Squared Circle Jerks podcast. I am Pedantic Mike. He is Gigantic Byron. And we have Kyle today.
Yes, indeed.
And not the Kyle. Well, no. The Kyle, but not the Kyle that you probably have heard us reference repetitively and with malice and forethought.
Yeah, this one's way better.
That's true.
It would be hard to be worse.
He's not as tall, but he probably weighs about the same.
Hey.
No, trust me.
Okay.
The other Kyle is a tall, skinny freak of nature.
True.
We're here to do 205 Live. We're going to talk about NXT. We're going to talk a little bit about ROH. You watched ROH.
Yep,
We'll do a little bit on that.
ROH.
We're going to talk about what we expect heading into Don Taku, because we're going to watch that right after we do this podcast.
Yep.
And then there's going to be a bonus podcast up.
Yeah. To preface any expectations whatsoever, and we're going to cover this this will probably be the tag end of the podcast, is we're going to get Kyle's thoughts about his expectations, because I've yammered on at work ad nauseum about wrestling, particularly New Japan Pro Wrestling, and he's fully aware of the drinking rules, which perhaps we could cover as well.
I'm always down for this.
Exactly. So Kyle's unfamiliar with wrestling as a whole. He's watched the first 20 minutes of the original Omega Okada match, because I was really trying to spoil his expectations as to what is possible in wrestling. I wanted to start him up at the absolute pinnacle of wrestling and then let him suffer for the rest of his life.
There has been no Shibata, though, so we have not fully broken him in.
What if fantasy booking warfare and medical booking warfare, Shibata has all of the stem cells injected into his body and he becomes like Super Shibata Saiyan, and then comes back and you get Omega Okada Shibata.
Does he have blonde hair?
At this point, I don't think there's any choice for him not to, because stem cells and science. So,
he's gone Super Saiyan!
Indeed. So that would be fun. But we're going to get Kyle's kind of thoughts, expectations, hopes, dreams, etc. This being the first wrestling card he's ever watched, and then we're going to record afterwards and see like where things fell in his brain. And he's got some booze on hand. I have some booze on hand.
Ready.
If he runs out of booze, I may peer pressure him to get more booze, but I probably won't, because he's a diminutive human.
Quick aside, I think I've lost audio to my headset. Mio, can you hear me? Can I hear you?
I can hear you.
Oh, okay, we're back. We're good.
Oh, you just unplug stuff?
It wasn't unplugged, but we're fine. We're good now.
Interesting. All right, I've got another set of earbuds that are quality, so everything should be plugged in fine. And so yeah, I didn't watch Raw or SmackDown.
Nope.
You didn't watch Raw or SmackDown. The reason neither of us watched Raw or SmackDown is because they just did a pay-per-view in Saudi Arabia, and they're going to do another pay-per-view, and both of these are co-branded, so you're having SmackDown and Raw on both, and they're going to do another one this fucking Sunday, which we'll probably watch, but very cynically. And you can't do anything on TV. That's 5 hours of programming that are not going to work. And the reviews that I've seen, I watched the Wrestle Talk guys do their quick videos, which is the best way to really absorb Raw and SmackDown. And basically, I heard SmackDown was pretty good, but some stuff sucked, and Raw was just terrible because it's Raw, and nobody was able to do anything. They're ham-handedly trying to set up future feuds. Like Joe's already supposed to be going into a feud against AJ Styles, which means Styles isn't losing the title at Backlash. So there's that.
Yeah.
And I'm not really sure what the fuck they were thinking about doing. And what are your thoughts on that, sir?
I enjoyed Brian Alvarez losing his shit while reviewing Raw.
Nice.
And that's really was the highlight of wrestling for the week.
That sounds sexy.
So let's talk about 205 Live real quick. There wasn't a lot I took notes on here.
Yeah, we opened up 205 with your boys, the Noodle Bar versus the Cruel Winter. Not official names, but ones that I use.
We're sticking with it.
To explain to Kyle here, Noodle Bar is they have two Japanese wrestlers and they just threw them together as a tag team just to do it.
Cool.
Because Vince doesn't understand things. Well, actually, no, it's Triple H in charge of stuff. Maybe he's got a master plan. Essentially, the weird thing is that one of them's a heel and one of them's a face. So one good guy, one bad guy.
Yeah.
But they're on a team, and they're really good as a team.
Mm-hmm.
But it's really weird to see people cheer for Tozawa, but boo Itami.
Even though they're on the same team.
Even though they're the same team.
Yeah.
And they don't really... they haven't changed their gimmicks much. So it's a really interesting, neat dynamic that I've never really seen before. But this was ostensibly a heel team versus a heel team. And they don't do that sort of thing because Vince doesn't know how to book anything anymore.
Yeah.
But apparently Triple H does. And the one thing I will quibble with in this is it wasn't terribly exciting.
I've seen better matches.
I can't remember who it was, but somebody went up and immediately used the term slowing down the pace, which means your match is... that's a code word for saying this match is fucking garbage.
It can work for a handful of guys, and in fairness, Jack Gallagher actually is one of those guys.
Yeah.
They're not really letting him do his shit.
No, they're not. Itami had a really, really great kick sequence, but maybe it wasn't great, but I haven't got to see him. I haven't seen Kenta, Kenta was Itami's gimmick before he came to the WWE, and he adopted a new one. But he was famous for his kicks. Mm-hmm. It was just powerful fucking kicks. Cringe-worthy powerful kicks. Just, oh God, why are you doing that? And I haven't seen him do a kick sequence in a long fucking time. Years. So to see him do one here was probably... I popped harder than it probably should have. But it was still awesome. There were some interesting storytelling bits throughout the match. Not much. There's a little friction going on, I believe, between the Noodle Bar. Mm-hmm. So I'm fine with it. It's going to be a feud between these two. Dude, I could watch these two wrestle all day.
I think the writing is on the wall in that regard, because Hidami pushed Tozawa away afterwards, mad that they lost because of miscommunication.
Yeah.
And I did like that the crowd chanted at Hidami as he walked away, "No respect."
Yes, I have that written down as well. No respect chant, OP. We followed that by your boy Andrew Garlic had a promo. The promo was very fucking good. Thank you for coming out. Although I do have it written down as Gilk promo to further my butchering of spelling Gulak's name. I misspelled it by accident a couple of weeks ago as Gulk instead of Gulak. But now it's Gilk because I thought it was funnier.
Nice.
And it is.
The man of a million gil.
Indeed. Also, Gilk is the name of a clan in one of the book series, a clan of barbarian, kind of vaguely non-human barbarians that are hard as shit, and they're not to be fucked with. They're the kinds of guys...
And that fits Drew Gulak to a T.
Yeah, like, these are the kind of guys that will smash down your gates and kill and destroy everything. But they also are kind of night fighters, and they'll do sneaky shit just to prove that you're too dumb to really fuck with them. So they're fun. We led that into a match between... I have it written down here as Bundy Murray versus
Buddiest Murphy.
Le Jabier.
Just before you go further, they still haven't figured out this whole weight thing, have they?
No.
It's like he doesn't make weight, and now he's suddenly 203.9. What the hell?
No, they don't know what they're doing. To explain to Kyle and anybody else that doesn't watch 205 Live, Buddy Murphy, who I've written down here as Bundy Murray, which is the joke. And he is built like a brick shithouse, but he's on 205 Live. You have to weigh, ostensibly the gimmick is 205 pounds or less. And since he's built like a brick shithouse, for the first time they're actually weighing him to see if he can compete. Yeah. Well, he blew weight, and so he lost his title shot a couple of weeks ago. And he blew it by like 4 pounds or something, or like 2 pounds.
It was like 2.5. I think it was like 207.5.
Uh-huh. But now he's like 2.5 pounds under, which is, I guess, totally reasonable, but why are we doing this? My first note here for this match is why is no one weighing Tony Nese on a fucking daily basis?
Or Alexander?
Yeah, Tony Nese has built like a bigger brick shithouse carved out of solid fucking granite.
Nice is a little shorter, but
I
like the
guess.
weight can't be terribly different.
His fucking deltoids are bigger than Buddy Murphy's head. And my two notes following this up is I was barely paying attention. What happened? I can't be bothered to skip back and check. I'm skipping ahead. Hey, it's Schmendrick the Unenthusiastic, and there's a brawl. Yawn.
Yeah, about sums it up. We're gonna hype up Buddy Murphy to get a title shot by having him squash a jobber.
Yeah. And then Schmendrick the Amazing came down, and no one cared, I think.
We had Kalisto versus Drew Gulak.
Indeed, and Drew Garlic, which I have again misspelled as Gilk because I'm going to run with a theme on this one. I liked the match. Those good times. It's just that Kalisto has no personality, so the first third of the match no one gave a shit about because it was all Kalisto, and people are like, yeah, okay, whatever, we're waiting for the real match to start.
I liked it, but my problem is even less related to Kalisto. It's just I've seen this match. I've seen this match a lot.
Well, the problem is that you've seen that match because Kalisto can only have one match.
Yeah.
He's like the new incarnation of held down Rey Mysterio, who only ever had one match in his entire career because Vince only ever wanted to see like 6 moves out of him.
Hey, those 6 moves breeds familiarity. That's what we got to limit the movesets to.
Yeah, well, I mean, I guess it sold a lot of merch, but that's all.
It sold a lot of merch.
Say. And then your boy Andrew Garlic got the win, and I'm happy that they're finally giving their top heel some fucking wins. God damn it.
Yeah. Problem is, this roster is just so fucking small. Ugh.
It is true.
And that's not a pun at the 205 thing. This is literally a quantity thing.
Yeah, I don't understand. And there's guys that they held off TV for forever, and guys that they cut without ever using.
There was a dude in the opening credits that I swear never had a match.
Yeah, I mean, they used Ho Ho Loon like one time, and the match was amazing, and then he was gone the next week. Like, what the fuck?
Yep.
Which led us into NXT. It increased chanting.
Yes.
And we had an undisputed promo, which was awesome. I enjoy the fact that they haven't just taken Bobby Fish off TV entirely. He's right there with a giant fucking leg brace going, fuck you.
I enjoyed...
Awesome. Eat a dick.
I enjoyed the... I would be happy to let the guys down in rehab know that they'll be getting company.
Yeah, awesome. I loved all of that. Bobby Fish is fantastic. He's getting more time to shine right now, even though he's injured, than any other time in the past. It's fucking weird. I think it's a great heel thing. It's an absolutely great heel thing. He's essentially a chicken shit heel without being a chicken shit because he can't fight. His whole leg's fucking falling off. That's not true, but I mean, you can make it look like that is.
Yeah.
So he doesn't have to try and back anything up. He doesn't have to try and run away. If the face attacks him, the face is now the heel because they're a fucking asshole for attacking a guy with a legit injury.
Yeah.
It's fantastic. All of the heel work makes sense.
Indeed.
It's almost as if somebody who's booking things knows what they're doing.
Yeah, I loved everything about this, but then we went into something I did not love, which was Kairi Sane versus Shazza McKenzie.
Yeah, I have it written down as Sane versus Shazza McWho?
I have seen Shazza McKenzie wrestle. She's not terrible. She was terrible here. Can she bend at the waist?
No.
Because having seen this match, I'm not actually convinced she can.
Yeah. No, this was essentially a squash match for Sane, which I'm fine with. There was multiple sliding Ds, which I am fine with. She used an Alabama Slam that they're calling the Tokyo Slam, which they should be calling the Tokyo Express or the Bullet Train. Those are you could call it the Bullet Train, and that'll harken back to Bullet Bob Armstrong, that kind of thing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I like that, actually. Didn't think of that at the time, but I like it.
And then Lacey Evans came out, a.k.a. I have written down here, Lacey McJobbed out. And my note here says, "Are we going? Yep, we're garbage promo incoming, followed by Pearl Harbor." And then my next note says, "Fucking predictable." #sad.
Yeah, I don't really like anything about the women's division in NXT right now.
No, they have to do this every year. every couple of years probably. Because they have all of their main stars get called up to the main roster so they can be the new jobbers because Vince doesn't know what he's fucking doing. And then we have all of these unproven talents that are either going to sink or swim, and the ones that sink are going to get called up to main quicker than the ones that swim. And yeah, that's pretty much how this is going to go. So Kairi Sane, who should have gotten pushed, a big push, an immediately massive push because she won the Mae Young Classic tournament, is getting kind of off and on weird sporadic appearances, and sometimes she's having to wrestle competitive matches against people that are not on her level. And it was kind of nice to see her squash somebody for a fucking change.
True. We had a Candice promo. We had a Lars promo. I enjoyed both.
Yeah, Candice had all the emotions. That's literally my only note.
Mm-hmm.
I enjoyed it. She is very good. Please change her fucking music. It's terrible. It hurts my brain. It makes me not happy.
And then we had your favorite tag team.
Yeah.
Street Profits, TM61.
Yeah. Okay, so I'm okay with this match because two things. Street Profits, sorry.
You're not sorry, don't lie to the people.
They're not, they didn't do anything ridiculously pointless. They didn't go for the invisible bowl of oatmeal eating. They didn't dance and prance and gyrate around like they had fucking butt worms or whatever. They didn't do any of the really stupid shit they do that was pointless. But they also didn't do any of the new interesting things that they've been doing, like with personalities and stuff. There was no little thing with the cup. There should have been a thing with the cup. You're up against this team from Australia. You don't think the guys from Australia have drinks? Come on. Let's do this. Come on. They will drink snake venom. They're crazy. And the second thing I liked about this match is... there was actually a good... What I did like is... Was it Ford, the skinny one?
Ford is the skinny one. Montez
Cool.
Ford.
Montez Ford did a really great segment where he tried desperately to tag in and was unsuccessful. I don't see any other person on the roster at all, on any roster, on any show they've got, that has ever gone out of their way to make it look like they gave a shit about trying to tag in when they clearly was not their time to be in the match. Everybody else just stands by the post, strokes the rope. I'm talking about the rope, not their dick. There's a tag. I'm just explaining, Kyle. There's a tag rope. There's a little rope there attached to it. So if you're in a tag team match, you have to have a hold of the rope. You can't just like roam all over the place.
Okay. Yeah.
Especially if you're going to tag in, you have to be there in your corner.
Mm-hmm.
So when I say stroking the rope, that's what I mean.
Okay.
So everybody else just stands in the fucking corner like a bump on a log. Occasionally the faces will try to get the crowd hyped and they'll do some stuff. Occasionally the faces will be like, fuck you, fucking crowd, fucking eat a dick. Yeah. Without being able to say that. And, but everybody else just fucking stands there. He at least did a thing to make it look like he gave a shit. Like this was a match that mattered. This was a match that meant something. It conveyed meaning. Mm-hmm. Oh my god, isn't that amazing? Wow. And also the faces cheated to win. So good. I enjoyed the shit out of that.
As long as we don't go hardcore heel with TM61.
I'm fine with whatever gets them on TV.
That is true. They do need heel tag teams.
Yeah, I'm good with... If they're going to be a heel tag team, fucking let them do it.
We had a Kona Reeves package there about the finest.
The finest. Kona Reeves. This is everything I thought that the Velveteen Dream thing should have been, and continues to be. This is just the cockiest son of a bitch that, so far, you can't prove him wrong. Although some of it's like when he says like he's got the finest smile, and he smiles and his teeth are not the finest, and they're not the whitest teeth in the world. There's a little bit of, you can tell the level of overconfidence is very apparent in the psychology of this character.
I need him to feud with EC3 at some point.
Yes, or be a team.
Nah, EC3 does not play well with other.
That's true. Yeah, no, I could totally do that. That would be good. But I'm enjoying, and he had his debut match after a Hero promo.
Chris Hero's coming to save Candice once again.
I can't remember why I wrote this down. I think there was a reference to somebody, but I have written down Scarmouche. Can you do the Fandango? I don't remember what Hero was referencing. It was a person, I'm assuming.
He was talking about Ciampa.
Okay. It's something about a Scarmouche. I don't know what it was, but that was the only thing I wrote down. And also, Hero versus Ciampa, fuck yeah. I'm down with Chris Hero versus
yeah. Ciampa. Cassius Ohno does not have bad matches.
That's correct. All of the pump kicks. All of the pump kicks.
And then, yeah, we got a bit of an odd one for a squash match for Kona Reeves. We got Patrick Scott, who is a jobber who actually has proper gear, and he had his own music.
Yeah. I just have written down Skinny Jobber versus the finest Kona Reeves. And that, again, this is everything I want in a cocky heel. He comes out, he got in the ref's face, like, I fucking heard you. I know what I'm doing. Shut up. He was an asshole. He was awesome. His in-ring work needs work, but I didn't expect anything really less than that. And it was just, I enjoyed the shit out of it. Sure, they could fuck it up from here on out, but from the debut, from the little bitty, they didn't build this up. This is not a Velveteen Dream where they built this up over like 3 months of like weird, obscure promos that you're pretty sure is going to be the new female wrestler, and it turns out it's a dude. This is much more cleaner, up in your face, direct. You can watch the promos and realize that not only is there like this is a cocky heel, but you can quantify the level of over cockiness that this guy clearly has. Like this guy has overconfidence to like a degree of like 5 or 6. It's just you can measure it, and I enjoy it. I enjoy the shit out of it.
I require a 3-way dance. Ethan Carter III, Kona Reeves, Velveteen Dream.
That would be fun. And then just like it turns into a 20-minute pose down.
Yes.
Yes. I'm good with that.
Then we had an EC3 promo with him wanting to turn this into NX3.
And they even had a logo for it too.
I know, it was great.
It was good times. And then we had Candice LeRae versus
we had a Dakota Kai thing here we gotta talk about.
Oh fuck, I skipped over that. Fuck, I'm not watching that bullshit.
I don't blame you because it sucked.
Yeah.
We had Dakota Kai do an interview. She still looks bronzed as all hell.
Yeah, what the fuck?
I don't get what the hell. Anyways.
She's using spray tan like a motherfucker.
Yeah. She was putting over Ember Moon and the Iconics, which is freaking annoying.
Why?
Because they're on the main roster making a big impact now, and Dakota Kai wants to be the next one, which, dumb, stupid. Anyways. She then doesn't want to talk about Shayna Baszler, which, this is a great way to build up what seems to be the one you're trying to pick as your main face, to go after Baszler by making her shit herself at the mention of Shayna's name.
Yeah, I could totally see you on the main roster. It'll work out fine.
Yeah. Anyways, Vanessa Bourne got involved in here to call her pathetic, and I'm like, I agree with Bourne.
Yep.
And then Bourne went off the deep end of reality by saying, if Shane was here right now, I would slap the shit out of her. No, you would not. No, you would not. You would have an arm removed.
Also true.
And basically, we're gonna get a match at some point between these two. They got issues. Dakota says she's not scared of her, which, you're terrified of Shayna Baszler. Should be a little bit scared of Vanessa Bourne.
Look on the top shelf.
Then we had Candice LeRae and Bianca Belair.
I have it written down as Blanca Blur. That was a bad match. The whole fucking thing was absolute trash from bell to bell, and it was disgusting, and I hated it. And that's the end of that story.
I'm not going to hate on it just because I want to see the Green Girls work with some good workers to improve. But yeah, I'm not going to enjoy watching it while it's happening. Then we had Pete Dunne, Roddy Strong.
On the top shelf. We're having technical difficulties, and Kyle's having difficulty realizing what a top shelf is.
Anyways, we had Pete Dunne, Roddy Strong. My first thought on this one was like, there's only like 10 minutes left in the show.
Yeah.
I require more.
Yeah, very much more. I had 2 notes to open that up. Was this is going to be the tits, and then my next note was that was indeed El Tits.
I enjoyed the Olympic Slam Avalanche from Roddy Strong. It was good.
Yeah. I don't think a single part of this was anything that I didn't totally enjoy, including all of the run-ins and all of the shenanigans and nonsense. And then the Brit and Bruisers came down, and I was very impressed and happy. And they have nicey matchy jackets, and they look very, very wrestler-esque and very enjoyable.
So at some point, we're going to do a 6-man tag, Era versus Brit and Bruiser and Pete Dunne. Fuck yeah!